Well, this is me. Today I'm representing Minnovex as a vice president. What is Minnovex? It's an association of innovative companies, self-defined innovative companies, and R&D centers in Chile, gathered together to develop the mining industry and also export their products and high technological services. Okay, let's start. As you may know, Chile is one of the most important producers of copper. Inside it, it represents almost all the economy. It's the biggest part of our economy, 13% of the PIB, 60% of exports, and 11% of workforce. We are number one in production on copper, rhenium nitrites, and natural iodine. The second one in molybdenum and lithium, and after that is silver and a little bit of gold. We export mainly to the Asian countries. Our main client is China, and it in 2007 it represented about $34 billion on export. This is, you can infer that the mining is the most important sector of the Chilean economy, and hopefully and thankfully the demand is growing. But the problem is that mining in Chile is becoming more and more difficult every day. Why? Because copper laws are declining, which means that to generate the same amount of copper, we need to generate non-linearly much more tailings. The rocks are getting harder, so the processes need more and more energy every day. Water is getting every day more expensive, so we need to desalt every day more water. And there is one specific problem, is that productivity levels in Chile are way below our competitors. And we cannot compete this way in the long term. One of the main problems about productivity is, primarily the human productivity itself. We have a lot of union problems. The safety conditions have made a bureaucracy kind of way of life in the mining industry. There are a lot of management inefficiencies in the mines, and every day the salaries are higher. So these, among other technical problems, have made the productivity in Chile way below what we would like to be. And finally, and this may be a very common problem between Chile and Australia, communities are each day more against mining and its environmental impact, especially in Chile, at least. Tailings is a very big problem. And why is a very big problem? Because land is scarce. Chile is a very small country, and tailings need a lot of space. So we are competing with people and urban facilities. So there's not much space to put tailings. So our only choice to keep working in mining and to keep selling copper is to innovate and to rethink mining. And I'm not talking about here about this fashion high-tech innovations with the new IT solutions and technologies. I'm talking about also the classical R&D processes, innovations and scientific discoveries. Okay, so what about the innovation ecosystem in Chile? We have, separated in two: public sector, which is Adelaide, Valor Minero, Fundación Chile, and ProChile, are the main ones that are focused on mining. And then we have the mining companies associations, suppliers and associations, where we are as Minnovex, the R&D and academic centers, where the universities, this is some of the universities in Chile that are involved in mining, and also the big mining companies, which are Codelco, BHP, of course, Anglo American, and Antofagasta Mineral. But I think that these entities that are in red are the main ones that are fully involved in mining innovation. Inside this ecosystem, there has been developing a lot of open innovation systems. They are very young, so it's a work in progress, I think. First of all, we have Expande, which is the analog, I think, to, well, the entity that BHP works with. Expande was made from public and private funds to promote the development of high potential solutions from technology. How do they work? First of all, the mining industries, the mining companies that are involved in Expande declare that they have an operational problem. Expande makes the first filter of suppliers that can give a solution. After that, suppliers pitch their technical offers, and companies give them feedback in order to, in 1 week after that, suppliers have to bid what are their technical and economical offer. And the problem is that after 6 months, we have an answer. But this is how it works. Here it works, BHP, Codelco, and Antofagasta Minerals. They work differently with Expande, and they use it in different ways. Second, there is Anova Minerals, which is a subgroup inside Antofagasta Minerals. It has independent board members, and they work with website platforms where the challenges are proposed from the mining company, and any suppliers can give new ideas to work on these specific problems. Last of all, there is Codelco Tech, which is a company owned by Codelco, which is the fusion of a lot of technological subsidiaries, like IM2, BioSigma, and Codelco Lab. This started like a R&D subsidiary, but in the past months, it has becoming more like an innovation management company, not so much as R&D. So they pick up Codelco's problem, and they talk to the different suppliers and try to see a way to solve these big issues. La Corporación Adelaide is an institution that was a program that was going to last about 1 or 2 years, and it became then an institution in 2015. And they gathered the public sector, the suppliers, the mining industry, the academy, and the R&D centers. Minnovex, with another board member of Minnovex, works there and represents the suppliers. Yeah? The objective is to meet challenges of productivity, safety, and respect for environment. And the good thing about Adelaide is that they started to work with a roadmap that was a very good publication made in 2015, and today, this year, about in a few months, I think, they are going to update that roadmap, which declares what are the main problems of the mining industry that are not for just one mining company, but for all of them. And they promote different projects and financing to finance those projects. The strategic projects that are working today are 2 of them involve tailings. One of them is about communities and the monitoring of deposit of tailings. The second one is about suppliers. The third one is about high-tech interoperability, how to make the different suppliers of robot trucks and to work together. And the last one is a very nice one, because I'm working in that. It's about recovering the last value elements on the tailing deposits. Well, COROFO also it's a governmental entity that, well, it promotes innovation in general in different industries, but in mining especially, it's supporting these two topics, green mining and also diversification. So COROFO is the one that promotes innovation, especially high-tech innovation, and gives finance to different companies and universities. And well, finally, the most important part of the innovation ecosystem, I think, are the suppliers. In Chile, we are more than 6,000 suppliers. 27% are small companies, and 73% are big companies. We make 7% of exports, which is about $471 million, approximately. Well, the support that we can give to the mining industry is complete, I think. There are several equipment that we must import, but all the rest of the services can be given by the Chilean suppliers. And this is one interesting slide. I think it was last year that it was told that in Santiago we have the most startups companies that work in the mining industry, even more than Australia, the United States, and Canada. So if you want to see what's going on in the mining industry startups ecosystem, you should go to Santiago. And well, Minnovex, which we are one part, big important part of the Chilean mining ecosystem. We are an association of mining suppliers whose purpose is to contribute to the development of the Chilean industry of technology services, equipment for the mining, through the association between suppliers in order to solve the complex problems faced by national and international mining. So the important word here is we gather together to solve complex problems, not everyday problems. Today we are about 32 or 34 companies, differentiated by product and IT solutions, design and engineering companies, technology transfer institutions like Codelco, and there we have R&D centers, AMTCs from the University of Chile, CISARO, Chile, JRI Research Center, and the University of Concepcion, recently added. And finally, but not least, there are several professional services that are not only for the mining industry, but this is a very good example that, how do I say it? On the left side, there are a lot of companies, very highly technical companies, but on the right side, these soft companies like Vantas, Pragmaxion, Signetic help to make these big projects, innovation projects, available and feasible inside the mining industry. Yeah? So as I said, we are focused on solving the most challenging problems in the industry. We believe that these kind of complex problems require multiple skills and multidisciplinary teams and multidisciplinary companies. We encourage members, remember our members are not people, are companies, to work in a collaborative way. We really believe in that. We really believe that we need to spend not money in our fees, but the companies must invest their time in working in Minnovex. Yeah. Well, besides working on that, we also work in the relationship between the suppliers and the clients, the final clients, which are the big companies. At least in Chile, this relationship has been historically very dissimilar. Well, there are the big mining companies, and there are here the suppliers. We are trying to make a conversation a little bit more horizontal, and that works very well. The model that we propose is very simple. The mining company that have a very complex problem that has not any single supplier that can solve it should talk to Minnovex in order to help them to make teams between companies, and how this team can give them a better value proposition offer. So this scheme shows that the relationship between Minnovex members or any other company that may be invited in the project talk to the big mining industry through Minnovex in their language. So Minnovex talk to the big companies in big companies' languages, and to small companies in Minnovex in their own other languages. So we go through different stages in the exploration of new projects, from the explorative conversation, knowing to challenges, the proposal development, which is iterated several times, and hopefully the implementation when the offer from the different companies are approved. So it's not like the typical bid that are used in the big mining companies. So we require time for the Minnovex members, and we also require time from the mining companies. So, well, this is the same. More information from the mining industry, we have better results. We have to work together, to talk a lot, to have a lot of meetings and whole conversations with them. And lastly, I want to show this slide. One of the main problems that we have as technology companies, suppliers, is that in Chile, it's difficult to prove or to test new technology. The big companies always want to be the first, second one. So there is an initiative called Centro Nacional de Pilotaje, which is in English National Mining Technology Piloting Center. I don't know if it's well translated like that, but it's an institution that we provide the mining industry and its suppliers with highly specialized technical services in piloting and validation of technologies. We will help them, and I'm talking about we because Minnovex has a very important role inside of this institution. Help the suppliers to prove the big mining companies that their technology really works. And well, to also help the big mining industries to be sure that the tests are really well done and they are not lying, and well, it's to be well, it's to be like a judge, more or less. So we hope that this institution start next year with real projects, and this year is finally started as an institutionalized company. Thank you very much.